In Carmen and Freddy Part 2, Carmen and Freddy get into a big fight over having children and threaten to break off the marriage.
Your mom gets on my nerves. If it was up to her, we'd be married in a synagogue. We'd have 2 kids who'd be raised Jewish, and there would be no Christmas tree.
Why couldn't we raise the kids with both religions? They could celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah, Easter and Passover.
Who says I want to have kids?
What do you mean you don't want to have kids?
It means I don't want to have kids.
Why not?
Because I don't. It's as simple as that.
Well, I've always wanted to have kids. And I'm not so sure I even want to marry you now.
Oh, well, I'm not so sure I want to marry you either.
So Eduardo decides to conspire with his arch nemesis Blanche in order to hatch a plan to bring their children back together again.
Wow, what a sight for sore eyes. To what do I owe the honor of this surprise visit? Would you like some more chips and salsa?
Very funny, Blanche. Are you going to invite me in?
Are you going to behave yourself?
I'll be a perfect gentleman, un caballero.
Then I'll be the perfect lady. Well, what do you want to talk about?
It's about my daughter and my future son-in-law. They are fighting and talking about calling off the marriage.
Come in, we'll talk.
My Carmen loves Freddy. He is the only man she's ever been happy with, and her happiness is the most important thing to me.
You have a point, Eduardo. Freddy's just never happy unless he's with Carmen. Jeez. So, what do you recommend?
I think we should have a surprise engagement party for Carmen and Freddy. Invite family and friends. Shower them with gifts. They'll feel so guilty they'll want to be together again.
Oh, I especially like the guilt part. Ooh. So, who should host this party?
Let's have it at my place this time. How about this Saturday night?
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
Over time, after getting advice from their parents and talking on the telephone, the young couple calmed down and were getting closer to reuniting. The arrival of engagement gifts were icing on the cake.
Carmen, this is from Fredericks of Hollywood.
Daddy, you're embarrassing me.
Oh, what's the matter, my little Chiquita? You don't like it?
I do. Thank you.
Carmen and Freddy, I would like you to know that this is a brochure from a major cruise line that has cruises all over the world. And once you decide on a date for the wedding, Herb and I will treat you to a week's cruise for your honeymoon. They even have a ship's captain who can perform non-denominational marriage before you embark.
Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Cohen. Your generosity is overwhelming.
The guilt and the gifts worked as planned, and the kids were back together again with someone to marry them.
So, is the wedding back on again?
Yeah, nothing like getting gifts, bribery, and guilt influence our decision.
Oh, yes.
Jewish mothers are good at that.
So Freddy no longer had any obstacles to marrying the Spanish woman of his dreams. Or did he? Stay tuned to find out.
Always been about Jewish mothers.
So, what do you like on the menu today?
This kosher salami was thinking about sweet and sour pork.
How unorthodox of you.
What can I say? I was raised Reconstructionist. And how about you, my little shiksa? Ordering anything kosher today?
This kosher shiksa's going for sushi today.
Sounds like an oxymoron.
So, tell me, Freddie, what is the real definition of a shiksa?
Huh. Well, according to the comedian Elon Gold, there are two definitions. Definition number one is a woman who is not Jewish.
And what, pray tell, is the second definition?
A woman who puts out.
Is that so?
So nice to see a young couple looking so happy. What would lovely couple like to order?
I'll have the dancing eel roll and coconut yogurt.
I'll have the sweet and sour chicken with brown rice and lemon green tea.
Have you noticed Ming's timing's always impeccable?
Thank God, she must really like us. Besides, I never said I agreed with the second definition.
Changing the subject, Freddie. What do you think about your mother's offer to send us on a cruise and to have us married on a ship?
I think it's the answer to our dilemma. I'm not so concerned about who marries us, but rather that we can get married and have our friends and family be with us.
I feel that way too, but I know my dad will be disappointed. He always wanted me married in a church. And I'm sure your mother would have preferred that you were married in a synagogue with a rabbi performing.
My mother is obviously disappointed in me. But the fact that she found an alternative means for us to get married and is willing to pay for it tells me she's made peace with herself.
My father has also been very supportive, and I suppose that's a good sign. I'm just concerned that this ship captain will be competent enough to perform our ceremony.
You worry too much, Carmen. We'll make the guy pass a sobriety test before he can marry us.
Very funny, Mr. Salami. Your problem is you don't worry about anything.
That's because I have you to do the worrying for both of us.
Really?
I have food for lovely couple. Bon appetit.
Thanks, Ming.
Why don't you take up your parents' offer to have us married on the Honeylooner cruise ship? I think the date we discussed, July 1st, should work well. What do you think that date's going to work well for them?
I'll talk to my parents tonight and call you right afterwards, and let me know how it goes with your father and Aunt Maria.
I certainly will. A woman who puts out. Is that really the definition of a shiksa?
Mom, Dad, I need to talk to you.
So, Freddie, have you come to your senses and changed your mind about getting married?
Blanche, do you always have to put your 2 cents worth in? You know, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth so you could listen twice as much as you talk. Why don't you be quiet and let the boy speak?
You know, God gave you a brain half the size of your mouth, so you make no sense when you open it.
Now, kids, let's fight nicely.
Son, I apologize for your mother's rudeness.
And I apologize for your father's insensitivity.
Well, now that you guys are getting along so well, let me tell you the good news. Carmen and I decided to take up your offer to get married on a cruise ship. The Honeylooner line is leaving July 1st, and we want to book that date. We'd love to have the 2 of you on board to see us married. Can you make it on that date, do you
Son,
think?
that is great news. We would be delighted to be there.
Great.
Herb, shouldn't we check our calendar first?
Blanche, whatever's on the calendar, cancel it. The wedding takes precedence.
Whatever you say, King Cohen.
I'm so glad to see you guys are getting along so amicably.
Yes, like the Lockhorns. Freddie, I'm happy for you. So, do you know who you want to invite to this wedding?
I was thinking of a small ceremony with just immediate family and a few friends.
Small, simple, makes sense. So what does Carmen think?
We haven't talked about it yet.
So, you're gonna have flowers? How about a photographer? And how about a band? You know, I love disco music.
So Blanche, you want to nominate yourself social coordinator for the wedding?
You know, Herb, it's better to be thought the fool when you keep your mouth shut than to open it and remove all doubt.
Come on, guys. Can't we all just be friends and get along? This wedding is really important to us.
I know, son, I'm really sorry. Look, you just tell me when the deposit is due. I'll send you a check. I'm sure that you and Carmen can take care of all the particulars.
Yes, but be sure to check the qualifications of the ship's captain. We don't want someone with a drinking problem.
You and Carmen think alike. You both worry too much. I'm sure he'll be fine.
The only important thing is that you and Carmen love each other and that you respect each other's needs.
I'll second that. And now I'm going to attend to my needs. I'm going to draw myself a bath, give myself a pedicure, and then I'll make my favorite meal.
So, at which restaurant should I make the reservation?
Aunt Maria, I have great news. Freddie and I have picked a wedding date. We're getting married July 1st. Will you be available
Oh,
then?
of course I can, Carmen. Where are you going to get married?
On the Honey Luna cruise ship. It docks in New York City.
Yes, and where does it depart from after
It
that?
goes to Bermuda. They have coral pink beaches and clear blue waters.
Sounds like paradise. Do you remember when you were so anxious about who would marry you?
Yes, and you told me to always have faith.
Always, my child. When you have faith, good things always happen.
Aunt Maria, I do have faith, but I'm concerned about being married by a ship's captain. What if he has a drinking problem?
As long as he's competent enough to perform the ceremony, who cares what his personal problems are? I mean, who knows what a justice of the peace does in his spare time?
Oh, Daddy, I have great news. Freddie and I have picked a wedding date. We're getting married July 1st on the Honey Luna cruise ship.
Oh, that's wonderful, my little Chiquita. Is the ship's captain Catholic?
I have no idea. But just for you, we'll have him wear a cross and rosary beads.
And the Cohens can have him wear a beanie and a Jewish star, so all the faiths are represented.
Very funny, ladies.
Eduardo, the ceremony is going to be non-denominational. I don't think it matters what religion the ship's captain is.
I would still feel better if I knew he was Catholic. Hey, Pedro, come on in. Pedro Santiago, this is my sister Maria, and you remember Carmen from the wedding?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Maria. Hello, Carmen.
So, Pedro, what brings you to our neck of the woods?
I have an extra ticket to the Philadelphia Kicks indoor soccer match tonight. And I wanted to know if you were interested in going.
Oh, thank you for the invitation, but I'm hosting a poker game that I cannot miss. But I have great news. My Carmen is getting married July 1st in New York on the Honey Luna cruise ship. I hope you can join us.
Oh, Daddy, I don't mean to be impolite, but Freddie and I will be doing the invitations. So, Pedro, are you any relation to Luis Santiago?
He's my younger brother.
What a small world. I went to high school with your brother, and we dated at one time.
I know. He always had a special place in his heart for you. He's never met a woman since that lives up to your qualifications.
That's very sweet of you to tell me. Tell Louise I said hello, and I hope he's doing well.
He is doing very well for himself. In fact, he is a sanitation engineer for the city.
Oh, let's not start anything, Eduardo, that you will regret later.
I tell you, Pedro, these ladies give me no respect.
It's nice to see you again, Pedro. Adios, guys. Bye.
What do you mean? Oh, those are his tattoos. Name Santiago.
Hey, Carmen, what's up?
Oh, I talked to my Aunt Maria and Dad. They said the date's fine. How did it go with your parents?
Well, they quarreled as usual and poked fun at each other, but they agreed.
Oh, that's great. Now we have to figure out who we'll invite to the wedding and what type of arrangements we should have.
I was thinking of a small ceremony with just close friends and immediate family.
I always wanted a big wedding with lots of friends and extended family. But I don't think we can invite all those people on the ship or have a reception on board afterwards.
I have an idea. Let's have lunch with them off the ship, have our ceremony with just immediate family, and go on our honeymoon cruise. Then when we come back, we can have a big reception in a hall with a dance floor and a band. What do you think?
Well, I suppose that could work, but it bothers me that my friends can't witness our wedding.
Well, we could have someone videotape our ceremony and project it on a large screen.
Well, we could, but that's not the same as witnessing it at the moment.
Then why not recreate our wedding vows? We could have a Quaker ceremony where there's no higher authority. We could do the ceremony ourselves.
Oh, that could work. I'll have to research it on the internet.
In the meantime, have you found a wedding dress you want to wear?
All right, not yet. Want to go dress shopping with me?
I can't wait to spend my weekend shopping for dresses.
Or as your mother would say, if you believe that, I have a bridge in Brooklyn I'd like to sell ya.
All right, folks, we're going to have a intermission for 15 minutes.